Some stories don't start with madness. They start with love. Real love. The kind people envy from a distance. Before everything collapsed. There was this couple everyone admired in our apartment complex back then. Their love was so sweet. Soft laughter floating through their thin walls. Two people who found comfort in each other in a way that felt rare. It was all sweet and lovely. Then came the illness. Hospital runs, but it was terminal, slow, cruel. People watched the man fade, piece by piece, until the day the ambulance lights painted the building red for the last time. The funeral was quiet, too quiet. This woman didn't cry, didn't shake, didn't speak. She just stared at the coffin. Neighbors thought she was in shock. That denial was part of grief. After the burial, the woman vanished. But she didn't accept it, didn't believe it, didn't acknowledge the death certificate or the quiet condolences. To her, he wasn't gone. He was just resting. And so she kept their routine alive, which was weird to those who visited. Every night she still cooked his favorite meals. 2 plates, 2 glasses, 2 sets of cutlery. People thought she was grieving in her own way, a strange but harmless ritual. But then, things got weird and stranger. She stopped leaving the house. The lights stayed on at odd hours. Lights flicking on at 3 a.m., off at noon, on again at dusk. Sometimes, neighbors heard her talking softly in the bedroom.
That's why I love you so much.
Whispering, laughing, and pausing, like someone answering her. Not crying, not praying, talking. Low, calm, like someone answering her. When she came to the door to receive deliveries, her shirt would be stained with something dark, something she claimed was medicine. And the delivery boys noticed that faint, sour, sweet smell drifting out each time she opened the door. It kept going for a while, and then the smell became worse. That faint, metallic sweetness drifting through the building's vents. People complained. Maintenance checked. No pipes were leaking, no dead animal. Nothing explained it. On the day everything collapsed, the neighbors complained again as it became unbearable. Authorities finally stepped in. When they forced open the door, the house felt wrong. Air heavy and still, as if time hadn't moved in months. And tucked there in the bedroom, in their shared bed, they found him. Not the way he was buried, not the way he left this world, but carefully placed under blankets, propped on pillows like he was resting. The coffin at the cemetery was empty. She had dug him up, dragged him back into the life she believed they still shared. His body was decayed, soft in places where skin gives way, darkened in ways no living thing should be. And yet, she had cleaned him, dressed him, fed him. She was sitting beside him, stroking his cold, cracking cheek with the tenderness of a woman caring for her sick husband. When the authorities entered the room, they expected panic, or fear, or at least confusion. But she didn't move, didn't scream, didn't even turn her head. She just tightened her grip on his cold hand. The she had been holding every night since the day she dug him out of the earth. As officers gently approached the bed, something changed in her expression. A look of pure, shaking terror. Not fear of them, but fear of losing him again. "Don't take him," she whispered, her voice cracking like old wood. "You buried him once. You won't bury us again." When they tried to lift the blanket, she snapped. Not violently, not with strength, but with desperation. "If he goes, I go too." The officers froze. She reached for something hidden beneath the bed. Not a weapon, not anything sharp. Just a small glass bottle she had been keeping for moments when grief swallowed her whole. A bottle she believed would allow them be together. Before she could open it, one officer grabbed her wrist, gently, firmly, and pulled her away from the bed. She fought like someone drowning, begging, pleading, screaming not in anger, but in heartbreak. "He doesn't like to sleep alone. You don't understand. He needs me. He'll be scared if I'm not here." She was shaking so hard they had to hold her up. The truth sank into the room slowly, heavier than the smell, heavier than the silence. She wasn't trying to escape authorities. She wasn't trying to hurt anyone. She was trying to follow him. To her, this wasn't madness. It was loyalty. Devotion twisted by grief into something unrecognizable. In her mind, he wasn't gone. He was waiting, and she would have done anything to join him. They carried her out of the room, but something in her changed the moment her fingers left his. Her body went still. Her eyes emptied, like the last thread holding her to reality had finally snapped. At the hospital, she refused food, refused water, refused sleep. She kept repeating the same sentence to every nurse, every doctor, every shadow that passed her window. "He's waiting for me, and he doesn't like to wait." She never screamed again, never fought again, just stared at the ceiling with the quiet devotion of someone who had already crossed the threshold in her mind. Days passed. Her condition worsened. Not from injuries, not from violence, but from a will so shattered that her body simply followed it. One night, a nurse checked on her. The bed was cold. Her body lay still, eyes half open, lips curved into the faintest, most unsettling smile. Like someone who had finally returned to a place they'd been trying to reach for a long, unbearable time. Authorities later said it looked almost peaceful. Almost. The room she died in smelled faintly of the same metallic sweetness they found in her home. No one could explain why. Some said it was imagination. Others said it was grief clinging to the walls like a stain. But the officers who entered her bedroom that day, the ones who saw the bed, the body, the devotion that had rotted into obsession, they all swear the same thing. And that's why some stories don't end with justice, or rescue, or reason. Some end with two people so consumed by love that even death couldn't convince them to let go. Because the darkest tales aren't about what grief takes from the living, but about the places it sends them when the love they lost is the only thing they still believe in.
Grief is a powerful thing. It doesn't always look like tears. Sometimes it looks like denial. Sometimes obsession. And sometimes it becomes a shadow so heavy that a person can no longer find their way back to themselves. If there's anything to take from this story, it's this. Love is beautiful, but without balance, without support, without help, even the purest love can twist into something unrecognizable. So check on the people you care about. Really check. Silence can hide things louder than screams. If this story moved you, if it made you think, or reminded you how thin the line between love and darkness can be, then stay with us here on Anonymous TV. There are more stories to uncover, more truths hiding in the quiet corners of life, and more secrets people never speak out loud. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with someone who loves deep stories, the kind that stay with you long after they end. To everyone who has subscribed already, thank you for supporting this channel, for your comments, your reactions, your presence. You make these stories worth telling. And wherever you are right now, I hope your weekend is peaceful, safe, and filled with the kind of love that heals, not the kind that haunts. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next story.